Aloha, everyone. My name is Alyssa Griffin, and this is my mock digital content services strategy for Info 284, exploring the digital content services lifecycle. First off, the audience I will be focusing on is the older adults ages 55 and up. Currently, they get their information through TV, radio, mobile devices, tablets, newspapers, and especially personal contact like their doctors, family members, and friends. For this project, their need is family ancestry and genealogy information to complete a family tree for a reunion coming up. The functionality and feature needs of this service are at-home access, because they may not always have the means to make it to the library. They could also get the help of family members at home. The service should be accessible from a tablet or mobile device. Most important are the accessibility features that could include audio, closed captioning for videos, enlarged text and zoom capabilities, and an interface that follows best practice guidelines for color contrast by WCAG, as this could assist older adults who may have issues with eyesight. Support needs to be available through different means like phone, email, and chat. And tutorial videos should also be available for users to access to learn how to use the different features of the service. Their needs will be determined through surveys, observation at the library, and also conversations and what kind of help these older adults seek from the circulation desk or from other library workers. Next are the stakeholders. This group includes the audience we are servicing, which is older adults. Also, library staff and administration will need to be on board, as they will be the main people helping to introduce and teach the older adults how to use the service in the library. The library board are high power and high interest stakeholders because of costs and how this service may affect other aspects of the library business. Organizations that serve older adults could be high interest, low power stakeholders, such as retirement homes, senior living communities, rec centers that offer support and classes for older adults, because they could become a partner with the library in advocating for the use of the service. And also community leaders could be considered high power, low interest, as one of the main goals of most leaders are to support all ages of their community. This can be financially, through advertisement and communication, or even finding the human resources to initiate the use and teaching of this service. Content. Although there are numerous vendors who offer the service of genealogy and family history, the two I will be focusing on is Ancestry.com and MyHeritage.com. Ancestry.com has historical records, the ability to do a person search, and they also have numerous partners such as Ancestry DNA. Ancestry.com is subscription-based, and we would need to ask about a free trial. During that trial, I would run a pilot with users to see if the service gives them the information they are looking for, while also meeting the features and functionality needs we predetermined. I would also ask if a subscription would include access to their partner organizations. For example, would users be able to sign up for a sample DNA kit or something along those lines? In comparison is myheritage.com, which provides family history, global records, and even the ability to animate old family photos that are uploaded to the website. Similar to Ancestry.com, it is subscription-based, but I was able to find an advertisement that they offer free trials, so with that, I would do a pilot run with users. I would also ask for an RFP from the vendor in order to determine which service best fits all the needs of the users and our organization. During negotiations, I would ask for all the functions and features that have been predetermined because they are considered have-to-haves. The level at which they are provided can be negotiated based on the vendor's abilities. Direct support from the vendor for the first 6 months of our usage would also be negotiated. We would need at least 50 accounts with personalized logins. That way our users could access the service at home where they are more likely to get help from friends and family. And the guarantee that if for any reason the library's partnership ends, our users' accounts will stay intact and data will not be deleted. They would just need to subscribe themselves. On the support level, I would negotiate for a specialized training or tutorial specifically for our older adults. This would most likely need to be in person and hosted at the library. This way, older adults can ask a specialist direct questions regarding their needs. I think this would be the best way to set up our audience for success when using the service on their own. I would also negotiate for partnering with the vendor to communicate and advertise the new service when it gets implemented at the library. As for pricing, I would negotiate for at least a 14-day trial with at-home access for the users helping with the pilot run, a year-to-year membership because the needs may change over time. Since this is for a project with an end date, this does not necessarily need to be long-term, but could be, and preferably a flat rate unless when renewing we need more or less membership accounts, which could be determined through our measurement standards. The communication plan consists of advertising via TV ads, flyers that will be passed out and posted in areas that older adults frequent, such as the library, grocery stores, community centers, and doctor's offices. We will put on a radio ad letting people know when the service is starting, and also an ad that will be posted on the library's social media with the ability for users and other organizations to share and repost the ad. I would also communicate with the vendor on the possibility of their website posting that their services are available at our library and location. The heading I would use for our advertisements is Family History Resources Now Available. Our organization will hold quarterly meetings with stakeholders to talk about the measurements, which will be covered in the next slide. There will be a report at the end of the trial to see how the service worked for our pilot run users. And since I will be negotiating a year-to-year membership, there will be a 6-month report and a 12-month report available for stakeholders. Informal meetings to cover any concerns and discuss the reports will also be available for the vendor and stakeholders with the library's communication team. To measure the success of the service, we will look at usage of the service and library visits by older adults seeking this specific service, as well as attendance at in-person classes or tutorials for the service. We will look at how many users were able to complete their family trees for their reunions, which can be determined through user feedback. The user feedback will be gathered in various forms like surveys or conversations with the older adult patrons, and even the family members and friends who may have helped them with their research and completing their family tree. We will also look at how many accounts have been created with the service. Not only will this give our stakeholders statistical evidence of the usage and importance of the service, but will also provide us with information as how to proceed when the time for renewal approaches, such as answering the question of if we need to be able to create 50 accounts or if that number and pricing needs to or can go down. An interesting thing we could also do is post the family trees that were completed with user permission to show other users that what they can do with the service if they're interested. Okay, mahalo and thank you for your time. I am positive we will implement a service that meets the needs of our users. Aloha and have a wonderful day.